there was a meeting in 1884 of kings of Europe and presidents of America. It's called the Berlin Conference. It started on November 1884 to February 1885. They were scrambling for Africa. It's a book. It's a thick book, about 600 pages. It says The Scramble of Africa. Here are superpowers of the world now dissecting the entire continent as colonial thefts for themselves, changing the cultures of those people. No wonder Africa, we have Portuguese, we have French, we have British countries and so on, because a decision was taken, let's change these people's culture in order to use them easily. Remember, Lord Macaulay said, I've never seen such rich people in Africa staying in peace, no crime and nothing. But if we want to oppress these people, we must change their spirituality and their education system, sell them the European culture. Once Africans see an alternative to what they know, they will drop their own to take the foreigners' practices. Once they do that, they are perfect candidates for oppression. These are the same people. This is the narrative they're driving. So I want you to be aware that in the narratives we are driving of economic participation, there is also a narrative of exclusion, of oppression, of killing. What is happening in the DRC now? It is a military practice where they say the best time to invade a country, it is when there is war. So which means we must stage these wars so that during the warring time, we loot. And then we arrive at settlement of peace. Of course. We would have looted everything by that time. That's how it works. So your attachment with outfits of democracy, whether you love democracy or not, I say it's not about democracy, it's about interest. US narrative on democracy is not that they're pursuing democracy, they're pursuing interest. Let me shock you. Currently, they are moving the treasury in the US. They want to use, what is this gas? The nitrogen gas, something like that. Okay. To produce energy, which is unlimited. This is the next bearer of value in the treasury now.
Nitrogen gas?
Nitrogen, yes. Which we have it in abundance. Yeah. They are already eyeing that. Now, what does that say to you? Do you think they will come in peace and say, let's transact and let's be partners in that? Or they will bulldoze your way out using all their might? It is in their practice. Go to literature. You'll find a plethora of invasion of countries because there's an interest. So I'm advising those who are attached to outfits of democratic systems, capitalism, communism, those things don't work. When there is an interest, we can use democracy as a medium, but to arrive in the end. It's a means to an end. It's not the end. The end is interest. What is it that you're interested in? So your Oppenheimers, they're interested to all our precious minerals. The Marinsky Platinum Belt, PW Platinum Belt. And they don't want anyone to take that. Okay, let me go to mining. You know why in 94, do you know that it took 10 years for the Mineral Resources and Petroleum Development Act to be passed in South Africa? And do you know the damage that happens between the 10-year space, which means we were using the old order mining law? And they were moving out gold, they were moving all the mineral unchecked because the laws allowed them. Yeah. So it is deliberate that MPRTA was suspended for a long time. Do you know how they came to sign it? We had to devalue the rand so that they lose. After they realized that they are losing their shares, they came to the table to sign that law. Otherwise, they didn't want to sign it. That was 2002.
Who devalued the rand?
Oh, yeah. Now you're asking the question.
Sorry.
Yeah, now maybe let's dwell in that question. This devolution of the rand, Nina, you are stuck with the idea that markets are the one that shapes the devolution of currencies. those who control economies, they stage devolution of currencies as well, which means if I want to force a particular country to take a certain decision, what I do, I crash the economy just temporarily so that you get your way. Once everyone is willing to comply because their interest, their pocket is affected, you hold them at ransom. That's what the Rothschilds do. The war between France, I think, and England, if I'm not mistaken, they controlled the communication during that war.
Correct.
They send a wrong signal that says the other is winning and the other is losing. When they realized that, we are losing in England, they started selling all their shares. As they sell their shares, they got them cheap. They were standing already to pocket everything. When the truth came to say, no, man, they were lying, those guys. It's late. You've already lost. That's how they got to control most of the reserve banks in the world.
I'm trying to figure out if you're saying it took 10 years for the Mineral Acts or the Mining Acts to be signed, and how it happened was through the devaluation of the rand. I'm asking who devalued the rand so that the mining bosses could sign?
Is those who control it. So which means what you do.
It wasn't our government. It wasn't black people. It was between
which means
global markets and the owners.
Yes. Okay, this is what happened.
Sure.
South Africa is sought after by all the powers of the world.
Correct.
So what do? If you want to oust your opponent, go to his enemy.
Sure.
And say, hey, this guy is oppressing me here and he doesn't want to give me. Okay, let me put it plain. The Russia situation and the Ukraine situation.
Sure.
So those who support the Russian faction, they would go to Russia and ask for help if they have problems with the US. That's how they play it. So in the world, it's demarcated. This scramble of Africa. In South Africa was Britain. Zimbabwe is Britain. Botswana is Britain. Namibia is German. And Mozambique is Portuguese. And Angola. Cameroon is divided into two. You have a French speaking and English speaking. And then, so those same superpowers that control and colonize these countries in Africa can be used at any time when somebody has an interest to say, call that one to deal with the other.
Okay.
That's what happened in Cape Town. In Cape Town, the Portuguese perfected the art of navigation on the sea. But they didn't ring-fence their interests. The Dutch looked at them and used and perfected that and established a port in Cape Town, Dutch East India Company.
Yeah.
But also they were relaxed because now they're the only one who supplies spices to Europe, to the Queens and so on. Britain came in envying what they have discovered. And there was a British East India Company as well.